Clearly, most of your viewers aren't clever enough to realize you are yanking their chain.
Shh! Don't tell anyone! Hey everybody, it's Friday, and I really mean it this time. We didn't actually put it out on Saturday. Today actually is Friday, confirmed. This is SMG Viewers Comments, the show where I try and answer your comments and questions to the best of my ability. This week's sponsor is Spectre Digital, my company. We've got that brand new promotion going on for Henning Pauly's pedal tone licks course. It's really awesome, and no, it's not about guitar pedals, it's about the pedals you would see on an organ and how you would apply that to your guitar playing. There's a lot of that stuff in metal. We're gonna have some more details on that in a few minutes, but anyway, this show's about you, not about me, so let's get to your comments and questions right now.
American-made guitars last longer and play better. Foreign-made guitars sound pretty good at first, but after about a year of heavy use, they won't play or sound very well. My American guitars sound better every year.
All right, everybody, sing along. America, fuck yeah! All right, so what you're saying is this guitar from Court isn't going to sound very good after a year, even though it plays amazing. And I've had this Ormsby for quite some time now. I guess it should be ready for the garbage heap in a few months, eh? Because it's going to be its 1 year anniversary coming up real soon. You know, neck through the body, 7-string, 29 fret, fan fret. This thing's an absolute beast, but apparently it's not as good as what's made in America. And you know what? I'm so glad you brought that to my attention, because I bought this Schecter back in 2007, and it's wound up on more records than any other guitar in my whole studio. This is wound up on so many clients' records. I didn't know it wasn't going to be as good as an American guitar. Hell no! I just thought it looked, sounded, and played great. I guess I was wrong, because it wasn't made in America. It was made in Korea. Not to mention this Ibanez that I picked up for $299 at Guitar Center back in 2014. This one's made in Indonesia. I guess I should just throw this one out too, according to your logic. Icon 357, I want to say this on behalf of myself and everybody who watches the show. Thank you so much for sharing your unique and very intelligent perspective on things and letting us all know how superior American guitars are, because definitely nobody can wire a pickup backwards better than the American builders can. I can't wait to watch your Nobel Prize acceptance speech, man. It's gonna blow us all away. I can see it already. Truly, you have made the world a better place.
I would like to see a video not just on 2x12s, but also on 1x12s, comparing them to each other, and of course the classic 4x12.
Hey, Miss Ashley, thanks so much for writing in. Thanks for being a part of the Discord as well. That's a fantastic question. Now, as a matter of fact, my good friend Steve Chason, the guy who built those 3 custom 2x12s for me, also built me this monstrosity. Oh my God, this is a 1x12 with the specific idea. Oh, motherfucker is tight.
That's what she said.
Oh, Steve built some really high quality shit. What can I say? Oh, fit and finish on this is very impressive. I don't even know what speaker we got in here at the moment. I think we've got some kind of Alnico in here, but from WGS. But yes, this is an oversized 1x12. He built this for me front loaded so I could swap speakers in and out real quick for like 1-speaker demos and whatnot. I haven't even mic'd this thing yet, but I'm really anxious to try it out. We'll try this against a smaller 1x12 and as well as a 2x12 as well, because depending on the volume of the cabinet, you are going to get different sounds. We already showed this in my video, What Actually Changes Guitar Tone, where we took the same Vintage 30 and put in 3 different 4x12s, and they all sounded very different from each other. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is cabinet material. Does that affect the tone? So if you haven't watched my video on that came out this week, and it's either coming out on Tuesday or Thursday. I still haven't decided by the time I'm shooting this. If you haven't seen that video, please do, because I think you're gonna find it a real eye-opener.
These videos make my Friday. If you think Gibson guitars are worth the money, you're simply deluded. I'll never buy one again. Another favorite subject of the Gear Snob is amplification. We were playing a gig last weekend, and both my guitarists and another band were guilty. We had a Fender Twin and a Peavey. My guitar player absolutely had to use the Twin, and our pal from the other band absolutely refused to use the Twin. At the end of the gig, I asked them both to look in the Peavey, and what did the speakers in the back have stuck to them? Fender. I don't understand the argument, because claiming you can't use certain equipment is basically admitting to be a bit shite or having poor ability at crafting tones. Use your ears and tweak the knobs accordingly, you bums. Cheers, Glenn.
And that's the thing, the guitar players don't pay attention to the important thing, the speaker! I remember I had a band in a few years ago, not gonna mention any names, of course, but he brought his amp in and he brought his cabinet, and I'm like, cool, what speakers you got in there? And he just laughed at me. What do you mean, what speakers? Nobody cares about those. And it's like, no, dude, that's the fucking important part. The amps are all variations on a theme. It's how the speakers sound. That's important. Case in point, I'm going to be reviewing one of the original 5150 cabs in the next week or two. Hopefully I'm going to get to review that in the next day or two. It'll be out sometime this month. That's going to be a Fearless Gear review, as in a funded review, independently funded review, that is, or I can give you guys the straight story without any corporate fuckery. It's definitely going to be a hell of an eye-opener. You guys are definitely not going to want to miss that one. But back on the thing about the guitar stubs. Oh, I can't play through that. It's like they didn't pay attention to the important part. They let their fucking egos get in the way of the performance. Yeah, because musicians never do that.
Love your videos, man. I can't imagine how much hate mail you get with your controversial opinions, but they're fucking well justified and hella interesting. Wholeheartedly, you're the only channel I follow and can't wait to start recording more so I can relate to more of them.
Hey, Jody, welcome aboard. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing, all that good stuff. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate you writing in. In fact, I read every single comment you guys leave, even the hate mail. I do appreciate it. Honestly, I don't get too much hate mail these days. Well, not coming into my email. I just get a lot of nasty comments, especially from guys who spent way too much money on things like, you know, Tonewood and tubes and other fucking nonsense that they shouldn't have wasted their money on. I remember a couple years ago, I did get a phone call out of the blue. One guy was really pissed off with me. He called me up. He was like, "Hi, it's Dave." And I'm like, "Hi, Dave." You know, Dave who? He's like, "Just Dave." And I'm like, "Oh, great. Here we go." Well, why you gotta do this, man? Why you gotta? I'm like, dude, slow the fuck down. I'm like, here's the thing, Dave. I don't owe you any explanations. If you don't like the show, don't watch it. It's that simple. Have a nice day. Click. Never heard from Dave again. I'm gonna call him Dave the Coward because he never did give me his last name. Hope you're having a wonderful life out there, Dave the Coward. I hope you not watching the show made your life that much better, but somehow I think if my show is really making you that angry, I don't think I'm the source of your issues. And I say this to all the haters out there, seriously, lighten the fuck up. Okay, guys, we're going to get to Butthurt of the Week in just a sec, but before that, I just want to remind you that we've only got 3 days left on Henning Pauly's Pedal Tone Licks course on sale for $59. It's an introductory price. Sale ends Sunday night, so today, tomorrow, Sunday, then it goes back up to regular price. And what is it? Check this out. Once again, pedal tone licks, it's kind of like doing that root note thing where you kind of improvise off of it. It's the exact same motion you get playing organ and using your left foot to do root notes, that kind of thing. Same kind of idea, but it works super well in metal. Now, Henning is far more knowledgeable about this stuff than I am because he's got a degree in music from Berkeley, whereas I studied recording. That's more my end of thing. If you want to improve your guitar playing, if you want to open up some ideas and explore some new territory, I definitely recommend checking this course out. I've been going through and it's kind of opened up some ideas for me as well. I kind of came up with some cool stuff already, so I'm really happy with it. Definitely worth checking it out. Once again, on sale till Sunday night. Now let's get to the Butthurt of the Week.
This guy is right about you. All you do is whine and complain all the time.
Oh, I'm sorry there, Buzz Kilgore. You know what? I'm going to change my attitude in just a second here. Ooh, look at me, everybody. I'm the magical man from Happy Land. I live in a gumdrop house on Lollipop Lane. Happy now?
Seeing these episodes makes me laugh because these trolls deserve to be destroyed by the facts and evidence that you say and present when talking about many subjects in the music industry. Bluntly saying the truth to these idiots and shutting them up is awesome.
Now, I can't take credit for this. I gotta go back to Penn and Teller. I was a gigantic fan of the show Penn and Teller. Bullshit. I really gotta get that on Blu-ray at some point. It was just absolutely brilliant. Those guys went ahead and just debunked fucking everything, and it was amazing how they pulled it off and what they did. And I was a huge fan of that show, and I kept waiting for them to do, hey, when are they gonna do the music business? When are they gonna do the music business? And they never did. So I figured, fuck it, I'll try doing some on my own show. And here we are, you know, what, 8 years later, still going strong, still busting myths. And make sure you checked out my cabinet, Tonewood. shootout video as well, because we put that one to do the test, and I got some pretty interesting results, that's for sure.
What's up, Glenn? I was wondering what's your opinion on Krank amps. I haven't heard much about them since the early 2010s.
Hey, Tim, you know what? Neither have I. I heard there was some issues financially with that company. I don't know what the fuck happened. I remember, on the Andy Sneap forum, some guys were trying out some Krank amps, and, they were getting some great results. I've always wanted to get like a Krankenstein in here, but it's never happened. So, another brand I remember hearing about in the early 2000s was Cornford. Anybody know whatever happened to that brand? One more was Madison. I remember a band I recorded actually bought a set of Madison amps. They were fucking great fucking amps. I don't know whatever happened to that company either. It's a shame that some of these companies aren't around anymore. But I mean, like, we have gotten some amazing companies come along in their stead. We got Rev, we got Red 7. There's so many cool boutique builders out there these days. Laboga from Poland, they make some amazing shit. Hopefully I'll get one on the channel. And of course, Driftwood from Germany. I've got one of those down in LA. Hopefully I can get that shipped back up here. They make some amazing stuff too. But yeah, I mean, like, the thing with Krank, I don't know enough details to go on about. All I know is if somebody out there has one in Ontario, I would love to borrow it for a few days and do a demo on it, because I think that would be really fucking cool.
Hey Glenn, I've got something you can ask the next Tonewood dweeb you come across. Ask them if they know which part of the tree the body and neck of their guitar was cut from. Wood cut from the bottom of the tree is more dense and heavy than wood cut from the top of the tree, since most of the moisture absorbed over its life is stored at the bottom. That means the two cuts would vibrate differently, thus affecting the tone. Surely they can tell the difference because they have the senses akin to that of a Kryptonian.
Well, all I can say about that is, you better run that by iCoon 357 and make sure that's American-made Tonewood.
I've spent hours, maybe years researching Tonewood and guitars. Never once have I thought about the cabs.
Yeah, funny how nobody bothers to think about the part of the guitar signal that actually generates the sound.
I have an honest question, and I hope you can answer. I want to record my one-man black metal project's next album in a professional studio. What's the producer's job in the process? Can he use my Easy Drummer drum tracks? Thanks.
Well, the producer's main job is to get the best performance possible out of you. So that means, he's going to be on your ass about intonation and just tracking discipline, making sure you're tuned every time, that kind of shit. That's his job. And if you've got a two-man team, like a producer and an engineer, the engineer is going to make sure he's getting the proper levels, all that kind of stuff, getting good tones, that kind of stuff. Or in most cases, it's going to be, the producer is going to be doing the engineer's job as well. Yes, he can use your Easy Drummer tracks, but he's probably going to want the MIDI from it instead. That way he can tweak out the drum sounds to their absolute perfection in a mixed situation. This thing, if you got something you're happy with, great, give him that, but give him the MIDI tracks too, because he can build off that. You guys can sit down there together and expand on what you've created and hopefully get something really fucking amazing.
Sponsored or not, the fact that Glenn is doing what all economists would say is a terrible idea, praising a direct competitor since Glenn has his own gate pedal, makes me really believe that this KMA gate is the tits. Respect for you has always been up there, but after this video, your stocks have gone up, man. Keep up the great work.
Well, don't give me too much credit, man. I mean, like, my pedal was a limited run thing. I've had a lot of requests for it, but I don't have one to sell right now. We might see one next year. We'll see. I mean, I've got the KMA over here. This is a great gate pedal. And like I said, I love the fact that it had the booster circuit on. If you check out my demo on that, I'll have a link to the video in the description below. The booster circuit on here is really cool, and it's really great on the lead tone especially. This is a very impressive pedal. And it was going for the same price as the cock blocker. So yeah, I've got some good things to say about it. KMA did the Guardian and the Worm there earlier, and I demoed that. That was a phenomenal selling pedal too. I mean, here's the thing. I'll be completely honest. If I had my own pedal for sale right now, I probably wouldn't be doing a demo on this. But because it's not available, I don't mind making recommendations for other gates and whatnot, because I'm not directly competing at this time. So please don't give me too much credit than I'm worth. But like I said, I don't mind shouting out good gear just in general.
People love buying shit. People can't afford a bunch of cabs. People can buy a dirt cheap guitar. Also, people sometimes don't want to know the truth. I can't believe some people still want to debate tubes or Tonewood.
Now, this is in response to that short I did where I said, why is it the videos I do on cheap guitars do great, but the ones I do the actual science in don't do that well in terms of numbers? I'm going to reply on this. The thing about cabs is you see the Mesa cabs on the market and they're very, very expensive. And some of the boutique ones out there, especially, like coffee cabs, they're gorgeous, but they're not cheap, that's for sure. One of my favorite cabs still has to be that piece of shit Behringer cab I picked up for $100. It's a fucking monster. It sounds phenomenal if you put good speakers in it. And that's where we come back on the whole, hey, you know what? Buy some good speakers. You can find a pair of vintage 30s used on the market for not that much money. Pair it up with some greenbacks or some EVHs or something like that. You're going to get some very good results and save yourself a bloody fortune. You can probably put yourself together a very good cab for under $500 American. You're going to get some awesome tone out of it, because that's the important part when it comes to guitar tone. Not the amp, not the guitar, but the speaker. Don't overlook that. It's critical.
Glenn, I have a 2x12 Marshall cab in the basement studio. One cab is a 1936 with Schlesinger G1275s. Very happy with the sound. However, the other cab is an MX212 with 7080s. Not as happy. I watched your video on speakers in different 4x12 cabs, but due to space constraints, I have 2x12 cabs. I want to go with a Schlesinger hempback speaker and a Neo creamback. Will the difference in wattage of the speakers make a difference in sound? Any thoughts or suggestions on this combo would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you could do a video on using 2x12s, that would be great because a lot of us do not have the room for multiple 4x12 cabs.
Great fucking question. Yeah, I'm going to do some more videos on the 2x12s. Like I said, I just did the cabinet wood shootout. So one was a G12H, the other one was an EVH. The EVHs are only rated at 20 watts, and I've had no issue with them whatsoever. I mean, it's not going to fuck your sound up. It's going to give you a bit more of a palette to work with. So yeah, that's going to be absolutely fine. The only thing is you're going to want to make sure you don't run the amp to the point where you're going to blow the speakers. So just keep an eye on that, but you should be absolutely fine because those EVHs can really take a beating. They're designed to be cranked up. But good for you on wanting to replace some speakers. I'm not a big fan of the 7080s either. The Neo creambacks are great. I'm not sure what the situation was with the hempbacks these days. They were, when I did that video there a few months back, they had a hard time getting hold of them. I don't know what the situation is right now, but I definitely recommend the Neo creambacks, maybe with an EVH, might be a really cool combination. I should probably do that video actually, where we go take a look at some different Schlesinger speaker combos because we can get some really amazing results. And none of them have to be a vintage 30. Imagine that, metal players thinking for themselves. What's the world coming to?
After some deep thought about the question, that guitar video is one of the only videos that doesn't have a selfie in the thumbnail. Less face going forward.
Yo, Goob, I think you might be right. I looked at some of my biggest videos, you know, how to not suck on bass. The thumbnail there was a custom Hembry bass guitar, and one of my other really big videos I did was my interview with Jen Majura from Evanescence and Nita Strauss and me. We did that at Tonewood a couple years ago. Yeah, I just put Nita in the thumbnail and everybody clicked it. That's the one thing about having a 98% male audience. I know what you guys like. You know, this is the thing though, but if I started putting, you know, beautiful women in my thumbnails, everybody would just get mad at me. So I can only do that when they're actually on the show. Unfortunately, that's the problem with being in Windsor. We don't have many amazing, you know, musicians come visit here from either sex. It's just, yeah, we're kind of in a cultural wasteland here. It is what it is. I'll do what I can. But you might have a point about not putting me in the thumbnails. I think there might be some truth to that. I'm going to try that with a cabinet wood video. We'll see what happens.
More people want to be entertained than who wants to be educated, which is the right mix and is a normal and healthy thing. I don't read books about mass, I watch peacemaking. Sometimes I do want to be educated on something and watch something educational. Typically, like a big, famous, successful director makes a blockbuster movie, pockets the cash, then makes a movie that you really want to make and has a smaller audience. Sometimes I do enjoy those movies. Damn Chef is good. Most of the time, I do not. So Glenn, you make quick and easy videos to bring in the views so you can create your passion projects with fewer viewers watch, but they get educated and get more out of it. Embrace it.
Hey, John, you've got a great point. You're referencing that question I asked the other day. Why do my science videos not get the same amount of views as like, hey, look at this stupidly awesome cheap guitar? I think you might have a point there. Personally, I didn't watch a lot of blockbuster movies. I spent a lot of time watching the History Channel because I really like that kind of thing, and Discovery Channel, all that. Remember when they actually used to put science and shit on those shows, and History Channel used to be about history? Yeah, absolutely love that kind of stuff. But, you know, you might have a point about the flashy blockbuster thing. I guess I'll do more shorts like that. I'm going to be doing a series of recording basics questions like about compression and, you know, what soundproofing is, that kind of thing. So if you've got some basic audio questions you'd like answered, please leave a comment below because maybe I can make a short out of it and get your answer to you in the quickest, simplest way possible.
Rush, Spirit of the Radio never went higher than number 52 on the US charts in 1980. Funkytown by Lips Inc. hit number 1 in that year. Genius isn't always appreciated by all, but it's still appreciated by many. Keep it up, Glenn. We appreciate it.
Matt, thanks so much for putting that in perspective. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I have to agree. I fucking hated Funkytown. All right, everybody, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And please make sure you grab a copy of Henning Pauly's Pedal Tone Licks course now before the sale ends. And then it goes back up to $79. Once again, it's on sale for $59 till Sunday night. Grab it now while you can. All right, you guys have an amazing weekend. And until next time, Hasadiga Ibawai. Fuck. I can't remember the words of the sign-off line I had. I gotta do a redneck accent here. Oh, okay. Oh, he gave me instructions here. How about this? Tuck right side in first, then left side. Okay, top. Guess this is only going back in one way. Tight fit, but it fit. Phrasing.